one day, you realize something painful. No matter how much you explain yourself, some people will still misunderstand you. No matter how loyal you are, some people will still leave too. No matter how much love you give, some people will never value you properly. And the more desperately you chase their approval, the more exhausted your soul becomes too. I learned this lesson through pain, discipline, and experience. I stopped begging people to respect me. I stopped chasing people who did not value my presence. And I stopped explaining myself to individuals who were committed to misunderstanding me. That was the moment my mind became stronger, calmer, more dangerous, because true confidence is not forcing people to see your worth. True confidence is knowing your worth even when nobody claps for you. In this video, I will teach you 7 brutal lessons that helped me protect my peace, master my emotions, and become impossible to control mentally. 1. Never beg for respect. One of the biggest mistakes people make is begging others to value them. They beg for attention in relationships. They beg for loyalty from fake friends. They beg for appreciation from people who only notice them when it is convenient. But listen carefully to me. Anything you must constantly beg for has already lost its value. 2. When I trained martial arts, I understood something important very early in life. Real strength never screams for recognition. 2. A lion does not walk around the jungle trying to convince animals that he is powerful. His presence speaks for itself. The same is true for human beings. The more desperate you become for respect, the weaker you appear emotionally. I have seen many talented people destroy themselves emotionally because they needed constant approval from others too. Their happiness depended entirely on how people treated them. One compliment made them feel valuable. One rejection made them feel worthless. This is dangerous too, because the moment your self-worth depends on others, your mind becomes easy to control. You must stop begging people to see your value. If someone cannot recognize your sincerity, your loyalty, your effort, or your heart, let them walk away. Never reduce yourself to gain temporary acceptance. Protect your dignity, even if it means standing alone, because the strongest people are not the ones who receive the most validation too. The strongest people are the ones who continue moving forward without needing it. 2. Never chase people who do not value you. Many people waste years chasing people who were never truly meant to stay in their lives too. They chase attention, love, approval, and validation from people who continuously ignore them, disrespect them, or make them feel emotionally exhausted too. The sad truth is the more you chase someone for affection or recognition, the more you slowly lose your own self-respect too. Instead of feeling loved, you begin feeling emotionally empty and mentally drained. During my life, I learned that energy is one of the most valuable things a human being possesses. Two, your attention is powerful. Where you place your time, emotions, and focus will shape the quality of your life. So if you constantly spend your energy trying to force people to appreciate you, you slowly abandon your own growth in the process. Two, you stop focusing on your purpose because your mind becomes obsessed with people who do not truly care. Two, when I dedicated myself to martial arts, discipline, and self-mastery, many people did not understand my mindset. Some criticized me. Some doubted my methods too. But I refused to waste my life trying to convince everyone to support my path. Instead, I continued training. I continued learning. I continued improving myself every single day. Because real growth happens when your focus stays on becoming stronger, not on chasing acceptance from others. Many people chase others because they are afraid of being alone too. They believe loneliness is painful. But listen carefully, constantly humiliating yourself for attention is far more painful than solitude too. There is nothing peaceful about begging people to stay in your life while they continuously show you they do not value you. 3, never explain yourself to everyone. One of the most peaceful decisions you will ever make in life is realizing that you do not owe everyone an explanation for who you are, how you live, or why you make certain decisions. 2, many people spend their entire lives trying to explain themselves so others will finally understand them, approve of them, or stop judging them. But the truth is, some people will misunderstand you, no matter how clearly you speak. During my life, many people criticized the way I thought, trained, and lived. Some doubted my philosophy. Some mocked my ideas because they were different from traditional thinking. But I learned something powerful very early. Constantly explaining yourself drains enormous mental energy. Most people are not even trying to understand you sincerely. They simply want you to defend yourself so they can feel control over your emotions too. The more you explained yourself to everyone, the more emotionally exhausted you become. You start overthinking every decision. You begin questioning your own instincts too. Instead of living freely, you become trapped trying to manage other people's opinions. You do not need to explain why you changed. You do not need to explain why you protect your peace now. You do not need to explain why you walked away from situations that were destroying your mental health. Mature people understand boundaries without demanding endless explanations. I learned that silence is often more powerful than arguing. Sometimes the strongest response is simply continuing your path without needing approval from the world. 2. Weak people constantly seek validation. Strong people quietly trust themselves. The moment you stop explaining yourself to everyone, your mind becomes calmer, your life becomes quieter, and your energy becomes protected from unnecessary emotional battles. 4. 2. Your worth does not decrease because someone failed to see it. What is painful mistakes people make is allowing other people's opinions to determine their self-worth. Someone ignores them, rejects them, replaces them, or disrespects them, and suddenly they begin questioning their entire value as a human being. They start believing they are not good enough simply because someone else failed to appreciate them too. But listen to me carefully. Another person's inability to recognize your value does not make you worthless. So, during my life, many people underestimated me too. Some people judged me because I looked different. Some doubted my philosophy because it challenged traditional thinking. Others rejected my ideas before even trying to understand them. If I had allowed every criticism and rejection to define me, I would have spent entire life feeling insecure and emotionally weak. But I learned something powerful. People can only judge you based on the limits of their own understanding, too. A blind man cannot see the beauty of a sunset, but that does not make the sunset less beautiful, too. In the same way, some people simply do not have the emotional maturity, wisdom, or awareness to recognize your value. Their inability to appreciate you says more about them than it says about you, too. Many people become emotionally addicted to external validation. They only feel valuable when they are praised, accepted, or admired, too. The moment someone criticizes them, their confidence collapses completely. This is dangerous because it gives other people control over your emotional state. If your confidence depends entirely on how others treat you, your peace will always unstable. I learned that true confidence is built internally, too. It comes from discipline, self-respect, and knowing who you are even when the world misunderstands you. When you spend time improving your mind, strengthening your body, and developing your character, you stop needing constant approval from others. You begin understanding your value without needing people to constantly remind you. Many people will overlook your loyalty while you are present. They will ignore your kindness too. They will take your effort for granted. But the moment you walk away, they suddenly realize what they lost. This happens because human beings often fail to appreciate things until they disappear. True. But you must never waste your life trying to force people to recognize your worth. Real value never needs to beg for attention. I want you to understand something deeply. Rejection is not proof that you are unworthy. Sometimes rejection is simply life removing people who were never aligned with your growth, too. Not everybody deserves access to your energy, your heart, or your presence. Some people only enter your life to teach you the importance of self-respect. There were moments in my journey where I felt alone. Moments where people misunderstood my vision completely. But instead of becoming bitter, I focused on becoming stronger. I focused on mastering myself rather than controlling other people's opinions. Because the moment you become obsessed with proving yourself to everyone, you lose focus on your own growth too. Never reduce your value because someone's failed to appreciate you. Diamonds remain valuable even when people cannot recognize their worth. Gold remains precious even when buried underground. In the same way, your value does not disappear simply because the wrong people failed to see it. The strongest people in this world are not the ones who receive constant praise, too. The strongest people are the ones who continue believing in themselves during seasons where nobody else does. They continue building. They continue growing, too. They continue moving forward, even when they are misunderstood. Stop measuring your worth through the eyes of people who cannot even recognize their own value. Know who you are. Respect yourself, too. Improve yourself daily, and understand that real confidence begins the moment you stop asking the world for permission to feel valuable. 5. 2. Emotional control is real power. Most people think strength is physical. They believe power comes from muscles, aggression, loudness, or dominance over others. But during my life and training, I discovered something far more important. Real power is emotional control. 2. The ability to remain calm while life tests you is one of the rarest forms of strength a human being can develop. Anybody can react emotionally. Anybody can lose control when they feel disrespected, rejected, criticized, or angry. But staying calm when everything around you is trying to disturb your peace, that requires discipline too. That requires mastery over yourself. I learned this deeply through martial arts. Fighting was never only about physical movement, too. Real martial arts teaches awareness, patience, discipline, and control over emotion. Because the moment anger controls your mind, your judgment becomes weak. Your decisions become reckless. 2, your emotions begin controlling your life instead of your wisdom guiding it. Many people destroy relationships, opportunities, and even their own peace because they react emotionally to everything. 2, one negative comment ruins their entire day. One disagreement makes them explode with anger. One rejection causes them to mentally collapse. Their emotions constantly control their behavior, which means other people can easily control them as well. Understand this carefully. When someone can easily disturb your emotions, they gain power over your mind. 2, there are people in this world who intentionally provoke others because they enjoy emotional reactions. They enjoy making people angry, insecure, jealous, or unstable. 2, weak people immediately react to every insult and every opinion. But strong people observe first. They remain calm first. They think before responding. During my journey, I faced criticism, rejection, and disrespect many times. Some people doubted me openly. Some attacked my ideas because they feared change. 2, if I had emotionally reacted to every critic, I would have wasted enormous energy fighting unnecessary battles. Instead, I stayed focused on growth. I stayed focused on mastery. I understood that my purpose was more important than temporary emotional reactions. This is why emotional discipline is so powerful. When you stop reacting to everything, your mind becomes clearer. You begin seeing situations logically instead of emotionally. You stop making decisions out of anger, sadness, insecurity, or ego. And this immediately changes the quality of your life. 2, many people believe emotional control means suppressing feelings completely. That is not true. Emotional mastery does not mean pretending you never feel pain, anger, or disappointment. 2, it means you no longer allow those emotions to control your actions. You feel the emotion, but you remain in control of yourself. A calm mind is difficult to manipulate. A disciplined person is difficult to intimidate. And a person who controls his emotions becomes mentally dangerous because he cannot be controlled easily by external chaos. Most people are constantly emotionally reacting to social media, relationships, opinions, gossip, and temporary problems. 2, their mind never rests because they allow everything to enter their emotional space. But I learned that peace requires boundaries. Not every opinion deserves your attention. Not every insult deserves your response. Not every battle deserves your energy. Sometimes silence is strength. Sometimes walking away is strength. Sometimes remaining calm while others lose control is the greatest victory. One of the most important lessons I learned is this: your emotions become stronger when your discipline becomes stronger. When you train your body, your mind also becomes more resilient. When you challenge yourself daily, you develop patience and self-control naturally. Weak habits create weak minds. Disciplined habits create emotional stability. This is why I valued self-mastery so deeply. Before trying to conquer the world, you must first learn to conquer yourself. Because if you cannot control your own emotions, life will constantly control you through fear, anger, stress, and insecurity. There will always be difficult people. There will always be criticism too. There will always be moments where life tests your patience. But your true power is revealed by how you respond during those moments. Anyone can become emotional. Few people remain centered too. And remember this, the person who remains calm while everybody else becomes emotional usually becomes the strongest person in the room. 6. 2. Build yourself so deeply that attention becomes irrelevant. One of the biggest traps in modern life is becoming addicted to attention. 2. Many people no longer know how to feel valuable unless somebody is watching them, praising them, approving of them, or validating them constantly. 2. They build their entire identity around external reactions. Their confidence rises when they receive attention and collapses when they feel ignored. This creates a very weak and unstable mind, too. During my life, I realized something important very early. The people who constantly seek attention are often deeply disconnected from themselves. They use noise, validation, and external approval to fill an emptiness inside them. But no amount of attention can permanently fix a person who has not built inner strength. Too, that is why I focus so heavily on self-mastery. While many people were busy trying to impress others, I became obsessed with improving myself physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I spent countless hours training my body until exhaustion. I studied philosophy. I practiced discipline daily too. I pushed myself beyond comfort because I understood something powerful. When you build yourself deeply enough, attention loses its control over you too. People who are truly focused on growth do not have time to constantly chase validation. Their energy is invested into becoming stronger, wiser, calmer, and more disciplined too. They become so connected to their purpose that external applause becomes unnecessary. Most people today are performing for the world. They want everyone to notice them. They announce every move they make. They seek approval for every decision. But many of them are mentally exhausted because their happiness depends entirely on how others respond to them, too. This is dangerous because public opinion changes constantly. People praise you one day and criticize you the next, too. If your identity depends on external validation, your peace will always remain fragile. I learned that real confidence is quiet, too. Truly strong people do not feel the need to constantly prove themselves. They do not chase attention because they are too busy building a life that genuinely fulfills them internally, too. There were periods in my journey where I disappeared completely into training and personal growth. I isolated myself from distractions because I knew that mastery requires focus. Most people cannot grow because their attention is scattered everywhere. They waste enormous amounts of energy trying to impress people who are not even improving their own lives. Understand this carefully. Attention is temporary, but self-development is permanent. A person who depends on attention will always fear being ignored, too. But a person who builds himself deeply becomes emotionally independent. He enjoys his own company. He values his own mission. He no longer feels desperate for people to constantly notice him because his fulfillment comes from growth itself. Many people are addicted to being seen because they have never truly learned how to sit alone with themselves peacefully. Silence makes them uncomfortable. Solitude makes them anxious. They constantly need distractions, relationships, social media, or validation because they are afraid of facing themselves honestly. But some of the strongest transformations in life happen in silence. I became mentally stronger during periods where nobody was applauding me. Nobody was celebrating me. Nobody fully understood my vision. Those quiet moments taught me discipline, resilience, patience, and focus. That is why I always respected solitude, too. Solitude gives you the opportunity to discover who you really are without the noise of the world influencing you constantly. The truth is most people are too distracted, chasing attention, to ever become truly powerful. Their mind becomes addicted to instant gratification. But mastery requires long periods of invisibility, too. It requires doing the work, even when nobody is watching. It requires believing in your path, even when you receive no recognition. This is why disciplined individuals become dangerous, too. They are not controlled by applause. They are not distracted by attention. Their motivation comes from purpose, not validation. When you genuinely love your growth, your peace, your mission, and your self-respect, you stop begging the world to notice you. You stop explaining yourself constantly. You stop chasing approval. 2. Your energy becomes calmer, more focused, and more powerful. And eventually, something interesting happens. The less desperate you become for attention, the more naturally people respect your presence too. Because people are drawn toward individuals who are emotionally complete within themselves. Never build your identity around attention. Build your identity around discipline, growth, wisdom, and purpose. Because attention fades quickly, but the person you become through self-mastery stays with you forever. 7. Become someone who chooses himself. One of the hardest lessons you will ever learn in life is understanding that not everybody will choose you. Some people will leave you when you need them most. Some will only value you when you are useful to them. Others will ignore your loyalty, your sacrifices, and your love completely too. If you spend your entire life depending on others to validate your existence, you will constantly suffer emotionally. That is why you must eventually learn how to choose yourself. Many people abandon themselves every single day without realizing it. They tolerate disrespect just to avoid being alone. They stay in relationships that destroy their peace because they are afraid of losing people. They constantly say yes when they truly want to say no. They hide their real emotions just to keep others comfortable. Slowly, they lose their identity, trying to maintain connections that were never healthy for them in the first place, too. During my life, I learned that self-respect is one of the most important forms of strength a human being can develop. Without self-respect, people become emotionally weak and easy to manipulate. They allow others to control their decisions, emotions, and direction in life because they are terrified of rejection too. But listen to me carefully. Every time you betray yourself to gain acceptance, you weaken your spirit. I had moments in my own journey where people misunderstood my vision completely, too. Some rejected my ideas because they were different. Some doubted my path because it did not fit traditional expectations. If I had constantly changed myself just to satisfy everyone around me, I would have never become the man I was meant to become. This is why choosing yourself is so important. Choosing yourself does not mean becoming selfish or arrogant. It means finally respecting your own peace, your own growth, and your own future enough to stop sacrificing yourself for people who do not truly value you. There comes a moment in life where you must stop asking, why do they not choose me? And start asking, Why am I abandoning myself, trying to be chosen by people who continuously hurt me, who continuously? That question changes everything. Many people spend years trying to earn love from emotionally unavailable people. They chase friendships that constantly drain them. They remain loyal to people who repeatedly disrespect them. And because they fear loneliness, they continue accepting treatment that destroys their confidence slowly over time. But I learned something powerful. Being alone temporarily can heal you. Constantly surrounding yourself with toxic people will destroy you. Some people are only comfortable with the weaker version of you. They liked you when you lacked boundaries, too. They liked you when you constantly sacrificed your peace for them, too. But the moment you become a stronger, disciplined, independent, and emotionally aware, they become uncomfortable because they can no longer control you easily. Never feel guilty for protecting your peace. Never feel guilty for walking away from emotional chaos. Never feel guilty for choosing growth over unhealthy attachment. The strongest people learn how to stand alone when necessary. They stop begging others to stay. They stop shrinking themselves to fit into places where they are not respected. They understand that loneliness is sometimes part of transformation. During intense training periods in my life, there were moments of isolation too. Moments where I became obsessed with mastering myself, while others focused on distractions. Those moments taught me discipline, resilience, and emotional independence. 2, I discovered that when you truly yourself, solitude stops feeling like punishment and starts feeling like freedom. Most people cannot choose themselves because they fear judgment too much. 2, they worry about disappointing family, friends, or society, so they continue living lives that make them miserable simply to maintain approval from others. But this creates deep emotional suffering because your soul knows when you are betraying yourself. You cannot build a peaceful life while constantly abandoning your own needs, boundaries, and self-respect. Choosing yourself means protecting your mental health, even when people misunderstand you. Choosing yourself means saying no to environments that destroy your peace. Choosing yourself means refusing to chase people who continuously show you they do not care. 2, choosing yourself means becoming loyal to your own growth instead of becoming addicted to external validation. 2, many people wait for the world to finally appreciate them before they appreciate themselves. This is backwards. The moment you truly value yourself internally, your entire energy changes. You stop tolerating disrespect. You stop begging for attention. You stop explaining your worth constantly. Your confidence becomes calmer and more natural because it is no longer dependent on outside approval. I learned that real power begins the moment a person becomes emotionally independent too. When you no longer need constant validation to feel valuable, you become free. Free from manipulation, free from emotional dependency too. Free from the exhausting need to constantly prove yourself to everyone around you. And remember this, the world often respects people who respect themselves first. So choose yourself. Choose your peace over drama. Choose your growth over unhealthy attachment. Choose discipline over emotional chaos. Choose your future over temporary approval. Because the moment you stop abandoning yourself for others, your entire life begins to change. 8. Stop seeking validations from people who are lost. Themselves, one of the saddest things I noticed during my life is that many people spend their entire existence trying to gain approval from individuals who are deeply lost themselves. They constantly seek validation from people who have no inner peace, no discipline, no direction, and no understanding of their own purpose. 2. They allow the opinions of confused people to determine their confidence, their identity, and even their future decisions. Think about this carefully. Why would you allow someone who cannot control their own life to control the way you feel about yours? Most people are emotionally unstable because they build their identity entirely around external reactions. They want everyone to approve of them. They fear criticism. They fear rejection too. They fear disappointing others. So instead of becoming who they truly are, they spend their lives performing for the world too. Every decision becomes influenced by public opinion rather than inner wisdom. I learned that trying to please everybody is one of the fastest ways to lose yourself completely too. The more people you try to satisfy, the more disconnected you become from your own instincts. Eventually, you stop asking yourself what truly brings you peace, because your entire life becomes centered around avoiding judgment. I experienced criticism throughout my life. Some people thought my philosophy was unrealistic. Others disliked my confidence because they misunderstood it as arrogance too. Some criticized the way I trained, the way I spoke, and the way I expressed myself. But I understood something important very early. People judge based on their own limitations, fears, and insecurities. A person who lacks discipline may criticize your ambition. A person who fears growth may criticize your transformation. A person who lacks confidence may feel uncomfortable around your self-respect. This is why you must stop taking every opinion personally. Too many people are projecting their own inner struggles onto others constantly. Their negativity often has nothing to do with you. Unhappy people naturally try to spread confusion because peace inside themselves feels unfamiliar. Weak people criticize what they secretly wish they had the courage to become. I learned that confidence becomes powerful when it is no longer dependent on applause. Real confidence is quiet certainty within yourself. 2, it is waking up every day and continuing your path even when nobody understands your vision completely. 2, most people will never fully understand your journey because they are too busy fighting battles within themselves. That is why seeking validation is such a dangerous addiction too. The more approval you need, the easier you become to manipulate emotionally. People can control your mood simply by accepting or rejecting you. One compliment makes you feel worthy. 2, one criticism destroys your confidence. This creates a mentally fragile life. But strong people operate differently. 2, strong people build their self-worth internally through discipline, growth, experience, and self-respect. They do not expect everybody to agree with them. 2, they understand that criticism is part of life. They know some people will misunderstand them no matter how sincere they are. 2, and because of this understanding, they stop wasting energy trying to convince everybody to like them. I want you to understand something deeply. Not everyone deserves access to your emotional energy. Some people only enter your life to distract you, discourage you, or weaken your focus. If you constantly absorb every opinion around you, your mind will eventually become exhausted and confused. This is why protecting your mental space is so important. During intense periods of training, I often disconnected myself from unnecessary distractions. I understood that focus is fragile. Growth requires concentration. You cannot become mentally strong if your attention is constantly consumed by gossip, negativity, validation seeking, and emotional drama. The people who achieve mastery in life are usually the ones who become comfortable walking their own path quietly. They stop depending on constant encouragement from others. They stop explaining themselves endlessly. They stop chasing approval from people who are not even improving their own lives. 2, many people will never support your growth because your transformation reminds them of their own lack of discipline. This is why becoming stronger often requires emotional distance from certain people. Do not let insecure people make you question your value. Do not let confused people define your direction, and never allow people who lack purpose to discourage you from yours. The moment you stop seeking validation from emotionally lost people, your mind becomes lighter. Your confidence becomes more stable. Your peace becomes more protected. Because true strength begins when your self-worth no longer depends on the opinions of the crowd. At the end of life, you will realize something very important, wasting years begging for attention, chasing people, and constantly explaining yourself only destroys your peace too. Real strength is not forcing people to see your value. Real strength is knowing your value, even when others fail to recognize it. So, during my journey, I learned that the strongest people are your quietest ones. They do not waste energy trying to prove themselves to everyone around them. They focus on discipline. They focus on growth. They focus on mastering their own mind instead of controlling other people's opinions. The moment you stop begging for validation, your confidence changes too. The moment you stop chasing people who do not care, your energy returns. The moment you stop explaining yourself to everyone, your mind becomes peaceful. Most people spend their entire lives emotionally controlled by rejection, criticism, and the fear of being alone. The truth is, peace begins when you finally become comfortable standing on your own. Because a person who respects himself deeply becomes very difficult to manipulate. Never reduce yourself just to be accepted. Never abandon your peace, trying to keep unhealthy people in your life. And never forget this: your worth was never something that needed to be explained in the first place. Build yourself quietly. Protect your energy carefully. Master your emotions completely too, and let your life become the proof of your value.